What is inquiry-based learning? Inquiry is simply the act of asking for information. In the context of learning, it recognizes that students are actively involved in their own learning and has them take responsibility for that learning. PYP learning at Aoba is approached with a spirit of inquiry, drawing from the transdisciplinary themes seen here and students' interests. Inquiry is an authentic way for students to relate to, explore, and understand the world around them. UOI is an acronym for Unit of Inquiry, where students explore a concept in depth. During each UOI, students examine concepts through the 6 disciplinary themes of global significance, spending around 6 weeks to complete a unit of inquiry. We like to show you how students learn from UOIs by reviewing a grade 5 example here at Aoba and see how students work through one of the UOI themes, how we organize ourselves. We'll also explain the Aoba inquiry cycle, which serves as a guide for how students approach the unit. During week 1, teachers introduce the students to the learning context. This includes the transdisciplinary theme and the local and global context, also known as the central idea. The central idea, in this case, is there are a variety of systems and relationships that contribute to the success of a business. The big question, also known as the inquiry question, is what makes a business successful? To answer this question, students were asked to consider the process of developing, creating, and selling goods or services in the marketplace, how tracking data helps entrepreneurs make smarter decisions, and the relationship between entrepreneurs, partners, and customers, such as rights and responsibilities. These questions begin phase 1 of the inquiry cycle, called Getting Ready. Students get ready by connecting their prior knowledge to the current learning context. From there, students form teams and choose their own inquiry to examine. In our example, these included products or services the students wanted to provide to the Aoba community as a business. They then begin to plan out their inquiry unit. In weeks 2 to 4, the students undergo phase 2 of the inquiry cycle, called Engaging with Ideas and Information. Students engage with various ideas of their own and plan out their team unit to include different learning experiences and tools for research. In our grade 5 example, the students learned about financial, human, and intellectual capital. During this time, students focused on 3 points. First, skill building in literacy, numeracy, and social studies. Second, concept exploring of financial capital, human capital, and intellectual capital. And third, gathering information about the service or product that they'll sell to the school community. Now, all subjects are taught in a way that is directly connected with the unit. In our example, mathematics was directly tied to a game students played exploring the concept of financial capital by learning the impact of buying and selling in a marketplace. Students created ledgers in Google Spreadsheets and developed this skill throughout the unit as they created ledgers for their own business. Students explored small business ideas on platforms like Etsy, and literacy was taught in a way that allowed students to build skills such as marketing and persuasive writing. In weeks 5 and 6, students dig deeper into the topic by making conclusions, evaluating their methods, and making improvements. This final phase of UOI is when students demonstrate and apply their knowledge. It's when students synthesize information from research, form conclusions based on their experience, and make group decisions about critical stages of the process. Then, they dig their hands into the dirt to work. Our grade 5 students were able to apply the knowledge and skills they developed through this UOI by researching, developing, and refining a good or service to advertise and sell to the school community on what we call a market day. When students work in a team to reach conclusions and make decisions, they go through the process of knowing the topic of discussion, gathering all necessary information, analyzing all that's on the table, and making an informed decision or conclusion. All unit of inquiries follow this general pattern. In our grade 5 example, students learned about the connections between business and customers to understand how to generate interest in a product or service, discovered how to organize and record finances, experienced how to organize a team with a single goal in mind, and built upon their understanding of the importance of roles within a group and how roles can overlap. This process of inquiry-based learning gives students the time, opportunity, and resources to be actively involved in discovering the answers. In our grade 5 example, the question was, how do people run a successful business? There is no one right answer for this UOI. It was up to the students to discover the answer and prove that it worked in their own business. Our job as the school is to provide the environment so that students can discover different answers and try them to see which works best. At Aoba, through the framework of International Baccalaureate UOI, we encourage students to take initiative in their studies and develop the ability to shape their own future.